You're watching The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales, streaming live daily to Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter.
There are days I think of Freddie Mercury when he was diagnosed and he knew he was dying, and he put out the album the song Show Must Go On. There are some days I feel like that, but that's not what today is about. Oh, I have notes. Well, there's a ton of pop culture stuff going on in the world right now. There's images that are being leaked and people are trying to figure out if they're real. There's the new Miss Marvel season finale that dropped last night with a couple huge reveals in just the last couple minutes. But we'll talk about Miss Marvel tomorrow because there's a good chance you guys aren't like me and stay up till 3 in the morning or whatever it is and watch the show. So I don't want to spoil it for you guys yet. You got till tomorrow, and then we'll talk about it. Today we're going to talk about the new Chris Pratt series Terminal List over on Amazon Prime, which I got a chance to watch the first episode of. We're going to talk about the latest 2 episodes of Only Murders in the Building on Hulu, which now have some massive Emmy nominations. And if we get through all of that, we can spend a little time talking about the history of that surprise character that popped up in the end credits scene of Thor: Love and Thunder. Stay tuned for the Dan Wickline Show. Hey everybody, welcome to the Dan Wickline Show here on The Experience. And like I said, today we're going to talk about a few things. But I want to kick it off with, first thing, if you noticed the little piece of tissue, my nose started bleeding right before the show started. So yes, the show must go on. But if I suddenly cut commercial, you'll know why. So, all right, let's talk about Chris Pratt's new series. Now, I like Chris Pratt. I like him as Star-Lord, but I haven't really gotten into anything else he's done. I'm not necessarily a big Jurassic Park fan, so yeah, he's over there doing that. Good for him. People seem to like him in that. But there was that sci-fi movie that he did, Tomorrow War or something, and I watched that, and he was okay, but taking him as a straight action hero, I have a little problem with. So I was already going into this series maybe a little apprehensive. But I'll say this. My thoughts on the show have nothing to do with Chris Pratt. He was fine. Nothing wrong with him. Nothing wrong with Tyler Kitsch, I think it is, who's in it as well. It's horrible writing. The premise for this show, and you get it in the first episode, because that's all I've watched so far, and it may be all I watch. I'll let you know about that. But I sat down to give it a shot, and we get what feels like a very long first episode, to the point where a couple times I paused it and I'm like, are we still on the first episode? The premise is Pratt is the leader of SEAL Team 7. Right there, I already have a problem because I've never heard of SEAL Team 7. It's always SEAL Team 6, but SEAL Team 7. And he is sent in to go after a particular terrorist leader that they've been trying to get for a while. And it turns out their intel is bad. It's a trap. And almost all of his crew is killed except one. And he and this guy get out. So right there, the setup, but it takes a long time to play that off. The next thing we see is him. He's got a concussion. There's some question about the mission. And he and this buddy are drinking together. And then there's a moment where this reporter comes in and starts asking Chris Pratt's character questions. Reese is his name. And there's a good chance I'm going to spoil this, guys. So just to let you know that. But Reese, she asks Reese these questions, and he says, "Look, you're not going to get anything out of me or out of Boozer." And she's like, "Who's Boozer?" And he looks to his buddy that he was drinking with, and he's gone. Now, sure, maybe he got up and left. But immediately, you start questioning, was he there? Is this guy starting to see things? Well, in doing that, this guy becomes an unreliable narrator right away. And then we start getting more and more stuff. He gets back to the States and he flies back with Boozer. Well, it turns out that Boozer never came back. He got back the day before and something happens to him. And Chris Pratt's character is like, "That can't be. I flew back with him." And they're like, "You didn't fly back with anybody. There was nobody with you. We want to do some MRIs on you." And, they play the recording of the mission, and you hear him talking about something that happened in the mission, but it's against what he remembers. And he's like, they're hacking our system, and they're overwriting our comms. So you got all this stuff going on, and you're thinking, okay, this guy is just cuckoo for Cocoa Pops. And then someone comes and tries to kill him, and also does some stuff to his family. And that's how the first episode ends. But you sit there, you're going, wait, you spent all this time telling us that this character is having mental problems. And now it's like, are we supposed to think he killed his own family? Or are we supposed to think that someone killed, because there are people trying to kill him, but where'd they come? It's a mess. And you're not sure if you're supposed to take him seriously or if you're supposed to take the threat seriously, or if it's just, I came out of the first episode thinking, my God, I would have written that differently. And it's nothing to do with Chris Pratt's acting or anybody else in the show. It's nothing to do with the plot that they're trying to tell you. It sounds like all of that has potential, but it's written in such a way that you can't really get into it because you're not sure if we're supposed to be rooting for Chris Pratt or if he's crazy. Did he just do killing people? It's super confusing. First rule of Terminal List, don't talk about Terminal List. Yeah. Second rule of Terminal List, don't watch Terminal List. I'm surprised how bad it was. And again, it's not Pratt. It's not anybody in the show. They never establish a baseline. And maybe that's what they're going for, is that whole thing where you're uncertain of what's going on. Did he kill people? Did it really happen that way? Did it not happen that way? And had they not given us those two moments where he sees somebody who's not supposed to be there, I think it would have come off a lot better, because now you're thinking, okay, everybody's trying to mess with him. It becomes this whole conspiracy theory thing, which is fine. But when you establish that he's seeing things he's not seeing, I don't know. Jeff says, I never read the book series. I wonder how far it strays from the source material. I didn't know it was source material. Now I'm curious too. Because, yeah. Oh, that's a good question. Is it just bad source, or that they're just adapting? Or did they just do a bad job of adapting it? Or maybe it's me. Maybe other people will watch it. I mean, I don't know anybody who's watching it. I turned it on because I really just wanted to watch something for a quick hour and not get too deep into something. And like I said, this was just over the top dramatic, and, you know, oh, they're lying, and based on a Jack Carr novel. Huh, interesting. I don't think I've even heard of Jack Carr. I'm gonna have to check that out. So thanks, Jeff. I will put that on my list, so I could kind of figure that out. Because again, maybe it gets fantastic. Maybe it is great, and it's just a weird opening. If I get really bored, then maybe I'll go back and try to catch the next couple and see if it gets better. But man, I came out of that first one thinking, this is just a mess. You know, they're not establishing really any baseline to go by to, you know, are we supposed to be rooting for him? Are we supposed to be, you know, worried about him? You know, and there's a moment at the end of the first episode where, yeah, I'm going to absolutely spoil this. He goes for an MRI and gets attacked while going for an MRI, and he disarms the people and kills one of them and goes after the other, and discovers that the gun that they came to kill him with is his own. Well, he figures, oh, they're coming after me. He goes back to, you know, check on his family, and discovers, but calls the cops to get there too, and gets there before there. And then he goes in, finds his wife and daughter dead, and he's sitting there, and he has his gun, which obviously they probably killed them because his gun was in his safe at home. So you're sitting there going, okay, you get the feeling that people are coming after you, and you're on the floor crying about your family with the gun that probably killed them, and it's going to make it look like you killed them, and you're going to get arrested. And it's like, you see that coming a mile away. But they don't get to that. It's like, it just ends with him, you know, with his family dead on the kitchen floor. And it's like, really? Can we move to something? Do something? I mean, like I said, Chris Pratt's fine in it. He's not great. There's no natural charisma that makes me want to like the character, which is weird because you kind of want to like him as Star-Lord, but he doesn't have that because he's not funny. He's just very serious. And maybe without that humorous edge, it doesn't work. But as a serious lead, he's okay. And now that they've established that he's got something in his mind that's weird, you start questioning other things. He's got his buddy played by Tyler Kish from John Carter and Gambit. Well, all I can think of is we've never seen him with a third person. So it's always Reese and Tyler Kitsch's character and no one else. Taylor Kish, thank you. And now I wonder, is that character real? or is supposed to have given him a ride home, but did he give him a ride home? Is he real? Is it a character that I don't know. It's super weird because everything is now questioned, but it's hard to care if you can't establish a baseline. So that's why I say it's just really awful writing, because they don't give us any moment where we go, oh, well, no, this guy's not going to lie about it, or, we see that he's mentally screwed up. We see that he's got a problem, to the point where he's even going, okay, I need to go get this MRI and get checked out. And then he gets attacked while getting the MRI. It's like, is this whole thing in his head? Did he kill his wife and kid? It's just really weird, So I don't know. Like I said, if somebody else is going to watch it and wants to come tell me, hey, it gets better, great. But JD says, having watched the whole series, I believe they wanted you to not be sure what a real or not at this point. Oh, JD, you've seen the whole thing already? You can come on. It's.
Oh, yes. I watched it a couple weeks ago.
Okay. Does it get better?
I mean, the first they did try to pack a lot in the first episode, and I guess no. It changes. I mean, it keeps you guessing once you get into the main plot. Like that was like the death of his family was the first plot point, really.
Okay.
That sets him on his path. Once you get into it, it gets a lot more interesting and a lot different than you might think it is.
So am I off base with my thoughts on it now?
Like they keep that going for like it's a good 3 episodes before you know what is real and what isn't. They want you up in the air until they can't do it anymore and continue the story.
Is Taylor Kish real?
Yes.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah. I mean, in the first scene in the next episode is like him with all his family and close friends after the funeral, and you see Taylor, talking with what's his name? Ben? That's his character name. Talking with him and other people, and they're all like drinking and reminiscing together.
Okay, at least he's real.
Yeah.
So does he get arrested?
It's like it's obvious that there's an investigation going on, and yeah, he it's like the NCIS officer was on scene. There's a scene where he says I should have thrown him in jail, but like I can't say. It's like either he fought with no one in this MRI room or he fought with someone, and I can't tell right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I should give it another shot.
I would watch at least the second episode.
Okay. All right. Under your recommendation,
yeah,
I will watch the second episode.
It does get a little bit falling down after a while.
As in the movie Falling Down with Michael Douglas?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm all for that. I'm all for revenge movies. I mean, John Wick is awesome. So.
Yeah, I would probably give it at least another 2 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I will take that under advisement, because I got a chunk of time between more stuff to cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we're going to get She-Hulk in August, and we're going to get Andor in August, but I got to get to Andor. We got to get to that stuff.
Gonna have something to watch.
Yeah.
Have you watched any of The Old Man yet? I still haven't got into that.
I have not, but I hear really good about it. So
yeah, I've heard a lot of good things from a couple of places.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time getting into serious stuff right now, It's like I still have not watched Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness yet. And it's on Disney Plus. I've got it. I could just click it on and be good. But having seen so many of the trailer stuff and some of the spoilers, it just seems like such a heavy movie.
It didn't feel that way. Actually, it's Sam Raimi, so like even the horror has an edge of comedy to it.
All right,
yeah.
I will say that the first Doctor Strange movie is probably, if not my favorite MCU movie, it's in my top 3. It's the one I go back to and rewatch the most and watch the director's commentary and stuff like that, because
this is not that.
Yeah.
It's not even close. I will say, like, if you want to get an encapsulation of all the flaws in that Doctor Strange movie, is watch the honest trailers for Doctor Strange, because it gets everything pretty much spot on.
I'll be honest, the thing that's keeping me from watching it is the Illuminati scene.
Oh, it was a throwaway scene.
I know, but
it was all fan service.
I keep seeing that image of what happens to Black Bolt.
Ooh,
and it disturbs me a lot.
That was 100% Sam Raimi right there. That was like his little Evil Dead moments there.
Yeah, and I think that's the part that's, maybe I just need to figure out where that is exactly in the movie and just skip it, because I know what happens. I've already seen it. I've seen clips of it and stuff, but
it's easy to see, because they're all lined up and facing off with Wanda, and he's the first to go. So just fast forward past that.
All right, guys. Let's take our first break here, and when we come back, we'll talk about a much better show, Only Murders in the Building. So we'll be right back.
Did you know that every Experience show, including some exclusive content, streams on Twitch? Check it out, twitch.tv/the_EXP. Or just scan that QR code.
Comic Collectibles is here for you every Wednesday with AR Comics for 2 very important reasons: to sell you rare, one-of-a-kind comics that you'll love, and to confuse AR with old man talk. You see, Rex and John are, how should I put this, ancient as the roots of the mountains. So every week, Rex and John fill in AR in yet another area of pop culture that he missed because he's too young, just didn't have the time, or just really doesn't care about. It's a real public service they provide. Come buy some super rare and unique comics, while old men explain long-dead sci-fi shows to a younger man making that confused puppy face. Every Wednesday from 6 to 8 Eastern with Rex, John, and AR Comics. Comic Collectibles on The Experience. Comic culture and sales.
Hey guys, sorry, it's important message I just got. Okay. Jeff, don't worry, because so far I'm 4 episodes into Only Murders in the Building, and there's not a lot of spoilers yet. They're doing a lot of setup, but there's also a lot of fun. It's been a very interesting season so far. Jay says, 2 golden voice gods on the same show. Oh, there you go. Thank you, Jay. I love Only Murders in the Building. I am a murder mystery guy. If you ask me to describe my writing, most of the time I'm a mystery writer. I always try to put a mystery in everything I've done. And whether it's horror, superhero stuff, I'm always wanting to put a mystery in there because to me, that's what drives the story. So I am the guy who's going to line up for a murder mystery anytime. Absolutely loved Knives Out. Cannot wait for the Glass Onion. I grew up reading Agatha Christie. I just am enamored with Kenneth Branagh's version of Hercule Poirot. I think both those movies were fantastic. I know that they're talking about doing another one that's actually going to be a little different, that it's not going to be the big travel log type thing where he's traveling. It's actually going to do the first Poirot mystery, which seems kind of weird to do it in that order. And there are some good other travel log mystery ones, but it looks like they're going to go a different direction on the next one. But the fact that they're doing the next one makes me very happy. I hate the fact that the movie got kind of slowed down because of the pandemic and also the Army Hammer thing. But by the way, if you haven't watched those, Murder on the Orient Express and Death on the Nile, they're fantastic. They're great interpretations of great novels. So Only Murders in the Building came out, and I enjoy Steve Martin and Martin Short. I don't normally like sitcoms, so I was a little hesitant on this, but it was a murder mystery. I'm like, okay. And the two of them work so well together, and they've been doing it for so many years. I mean, you can go all the way back to the Three Amigos. You can look at the Father of the Bride movies. The two of them just really click working together, and they started doing these variety type shows together, and I absolutely loved them. You know, Jay says I should try to see if I can get you some copies of Comic Tribe's Red 10. It's a superhero murder mystery. Okay, I'm always up for a mystery. Yeah, so I got into the first season. Lisa and I watched them together. And like I said, I absolutely adored it. And the timing on that show is so amazing because Steve Martin kind of plays the straight man, but still is funny. Selena Gomez is, I guess, also a straight person in the sense that, you know, she has sarcastic humor and kind of chops at the other two, but most of the time she's bringing along the mystery. Where Martin Short is the guy that comes along and reminds you that it's a comedy. There'll be a big dramatic moment, a reveal of a dead body or a huge clue, and or a confessional moment, like, you know, I was in love with her and it's tearing me apart, and big tears rolling down the face, and it's a big moment for the story. Enter Martin Short holding the microphone going, "Can we do that again?" The tears were kind of muffling the audio. And he does that at the end of just about every big important reveal to make sure the show stays balanced. It never gets too dramatic or too serious. And again, that is great. Or at the end of season 1, there's a confrontation moment with the killer. And Steve Martin's character does this great macho type takedown and stands for his friends and all that. And it's a great scene. And then they cut back a couple minutes and you realize that's all in his head. He's still like heavily sedated, and it's all just what's going on he wants to do. And instead, the ending's completely different. So it's got these great comedic beats, but it's also got this really cool murder mystery going on, all taking place in this surprisingly cool location, the Arcadium, which is this old building. And where the first season, it was pretty straightforward. The second season, we're learning a lot more secrets about the building, and where the first season was kind of around, it was a murder mystery around Selena Gomez's character. This one has shifted to be more around Steve Martin's character as Charles Hayden Savage. It involves his past, his family. We know from the ending of season 1 that who died, and that's Bunny. Bunny, what was Bunny's last name? Doesn't matter. Bunny died. She was the co-op manager that kept butting heads with the people doing the true crime podcast. She actually tried to get him thrown out, stuff like that. So she was not a very nice person. Well, the new season, the first 2 episodes is a lot of setup, a lot of connecting the dots, and they're still kind of doing the thing where it's everybody, each episode is kind of from a different person's point of view. They did that in season 1. We had one episode that was from Teddy's point of view, and Teddy is deaf, so the episode was silent, and it was brilliant. There was an episode from Nathan Lane's character's point of view. There was an episode from, different characters. It was from the victim's point of view. Well, they did that in episode 3. There's an entire episode from Bunny's point of view as the victim point of view. And of course, it gives you a bigger insight into Bunny's character. And you come out of it going, wow, I really feel sorry for Bunny. She was a much bigger, more important character and a nicer person than I really thought. And it's funny how well they did that. Is they took a character that they spent all of the first season making it out to be really kind of rotten. And then they turn around and they go, okay, season 2, we're good. She's a nice person. It's like, oh, okay. All right. I can. Folger, Bunny Folger, who's played by Jane Houdyshell, and she's wonderful in this part. But we really get a different look at the character, and like I said, I really enjoyed that. But that's the thing, is that they kind of change things up. There's in the first season, Sting is in the penthouse apartment, and of course he is Sting. So, but he's more than just a cameo. He actually kind of gets involved in the crime, or as a suspect and stuff. And there's a whole episode, and every once in a while he passes by in the elevator. So they really used him well. Replacing Sting moves out, and we get Amy Schumer, and she's kind of that same in and out type famous person for this season, which I'm hoping is a new trope, because they've announced a 3rd season already. And they announced it in this great way. They actually had the 3 stars come on and do this like voice recording thing where they're saying, hey, great, Steve Martin comes on, hey, great news. We're getting the 3rd season of Only Murders in the Building. We're all excited about it. And then Selena Gomez comes on and goes, yep, all your favorite characters are back. It's going to be wonderful. And then Martin Short comes on and goes, wait, how'd you guys find out? No one told me. And Steve Martin pops back on and goes, you're still here? Like, and it was just this cute little thing they do, but they stayed and did it in character. And, that said, it also kind of makes us have to keep an eye on the cast, because the premise of the show is also the premise of the podcast, where they only investigate the murders that happen in that building, only in the Arcadium. So someone else is going to have to die by the at the end of the second season or start of the third season, so that we have a third season. So, I don't think they're going to carry the mystery. There'll be a new mystery, but so you got to start watching these characters, thinking, who's going to be next time's victim? Is it gonna be the new head of the building thing? Is it going to be Howard, the cat guy? Is it going to be Dr. Grover? Will it be the doorman? Will it be Uma? There's Nina. There's a lot of different little characters that are popping up, and it's like, you could be dead soon. You don't think they're going to kill Mabel or Oliver or Charles, because it wouldn't make sense to kill those characters. They've also brought in a new character, because there was sort of a romantic character for Selena Gomez's Mabel. Well, they've changed it up, and they have Cara Delevingne, who played the Enchantress in Suicide Squad, the first Suicide Squad. She's playing Alice, but she only popped up in the first 2 episodes. We haven't seen any more of her. Let's see. JD says, 20 seasons later, the building is empty except for Selena Gomez on a throne of skeletons. I'm down for that. That I love. Most murderific building on the Upper West Side. Cara Delevingne. Thank you, Delevingne. There we go. It's just got a lot of vowels in the name. And I knew how to pronounce it when she was in Suicide Squad, but she's kind of been out of so I haven't been practicing her name or having to use her name much. The episode the first 2 episodes of the season are good setups. We find out how this is personally connected to Charles, how he might be connected to Bunny and never realized. And we get more of that in season 3. Excuse me, episode 3. Episode 4 goes a direction I didn't expect. There is, try to do this without spoilers, but because it just came out. Plus we got Jeff, and I don't want to ruin it for Jeff. There's a character that is, I want to say introduced, but more in mention in season 1. But we never see, or at least don't see currently, that shows up in episode 4 in a big way. And opens their eyes to some interesting things, including that they keep finding a bunch of hidden things in the building, hidden elevators, hidden passages and stuff. So this is becoming the building I want to live in if this stuff is real, because this all sounds really cool. I've always wanted to live in a building with a hidden passage, or a house with a hidden. Every once in a while you see that, like, somebody will take and they'll separate off their office and the house by putting a bookcase across and making the bookcase a door, or making the door part of the bookcase. I'm all for that. I want a secret passage. I want hidden rooms. And the Arcadium is just becoming that. And I love that they're adding that element. There's the new board, but they bring back a lot of the characters and stuff from the first season. So it is really kind of interesting. There's even moments where they're talking to the fans of the podcast from the first season. The same actors are around. That's really cool. So it's been fun. Again, it continues to be fun. The humor is there. We're diving a little bit deeper into each of the characters, and they're getting new ways to express themselves. New doors are opening for them because of the popularity they found. Yet they're also people of interest in Bunny's murder. So it's all kind of, still up in the air. I don't remember how many episodes is season 2 supposed to be. 10 episodes. Okay, and we're 4 in, and they're releasing them weekly. So I was a little late to it. There was 3 out when I first got to it. I did the first 2 last week. Talked about them this week. We did 2 more. After this, we'll be doing 1 episode at a time. Was first season also 10 episodes? Yes. Okay, that works. So we know we're going to get a 3rd season. You don't want secret passageways very drafty in the winter. Yeah, I could see that. I absolutely could see that. But they got a ton of awards and stuff, nominations. Both Martin Short and Steve Martin have been nominated for Best Actor in a Comedy Series. 2 of the directors for the episodes were named. I think it was named for Best Comedy Series, which is Steve Martin and his writing partner for this. I mean, it is doing great. And if you guys haven't watched it, it's both funny and a good mystery at the same time. It balances that line so well. So if you get a chance to watch it, I definitely recommend it. And the episodes aren't long, which is funny. Hey, let me drop the commercial. I need to take this call, and we'll be right back. Okay?
Thanks for tuning into The Experience. Help us out and hit subscribe over on YouTube, and click the bell when you do. Need some help? Scan the QR code in the bottom corner.
Imagine being at a convention and going to an interview panel that's just for you. No bustling crowds, no hours-long lines, just you, the moderator, and your favorite comic book creators. Well, this is pretty much that. Miss Jen sits down every week with 2 comic book creators for a live stream interview about their latest work, and you can ask them whatever you want. It's Talking Shop, Mondays at 5 Eastern on The Experience, Comic Culture and Sales.
There's something for every imagination at your local comic shop. Visit comicshoplocator.com to find a store near you.
This is The Experience.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hey there. Hi there. Ho there. You're as welcome as can be.
Hi, I'm Nancy McCann. Welcome to Friday Night Live on The Experience.
Welcome everybody, it's Fat Jack's Comic Crypt. Brendan, Al, Jason, hanging out.
There I am. Welcome back to Kicking It with Henry, folks. I am your host, Henry Kumpa. It's great to be here with you guys.
So we are going to talk about books that are in stores this week.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to Mishmash.
Hello, and welcome to the Black Comics Universe, presented by Peep Game Comics.
And you gotta love it that the first people in the minute to skim it are creators.
Up, everybody, welcome to another Wednesday Warriors. My name is Joey Galvez, and this is my pal Ambrosia.
Hey, everybody, welcome to Space Cadet.
Hey, what's up? Welcome, everyone, for another episode of I Must Ask You a Question.
Hi, everybody, welcome to Nerd News Now.
Hey, this is Rex. Welcome to Comic Collectibles.
Hey, hello, all you happy people. Welcome to the Dan Wickline Show.
Hi, everybody, and welcome. This is the crazy show that we do on Thursdays called What's in the Box?
What's in the box?
Comic culture and sales.
Who would win, Batman or Superman? It's the age-old debate, except it's so much more complicated than that. Nerd Killer Warfare every week on The Experience is your chance to debate other nerds in the questions we've all been asking for years, except we take those debates and turn them up to 11. Go to bit.ly/EXP casting or scan the QR code to be part of the show.
Everybody, I am so sorry. Dan gives his profusest apologies, but it turns out that that call he couldn't break away from. It is a very, very important call, apparently. So again, our apologies. We have to end the show a little early today, but don't forget, we do have Comic Collectibles with Rex and John coming up next. At the top of the hour, they got a whole lot of really cool stuff. You should see the Thor remark from Ken Hazer that they've got. So you stick around for that. Top of the hour, that show's going to start up. After that, we got Wednesday Warriors coming up tonight at 9 Pacific. So again, thanks much for hanging out. We're going to wrap up the show a little early today, and thanks for watching. You guys have a great one. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Bye.
Thanks for tuning into The Experience. Help us out and hit subscribe over on YouTube and click the bell when you do. Need some help? Scan the QR code in the bottom corner.